Welcome back. So let's briefly make an influence oil jar. Whenever you're working to influence an individual, you can use many different settings. You can use a powder jar, you can use an oil lamp, you can create a simple syrup, you can put a blend together of different oils as well, spiritual oils to help create the influence you need. Whenever I'm making one, I have various ways of making. For the oil lamp, the first thing you're going to do is you're gonna get some oil. You can use a carrier oil, and you can use any type of carrier oil that you prefer. I don't like to use olive oil because it's overpowering and strong, so that's not an option that I would go for influencing. Now, you're also going to need some kind of effigy or something to represent that person, and there's a wax puppet in there of that person. You're going to need a petition, a well-written petition as well. I'm only going to add in the cinnamon because the cinnamon helps create the heat that's needed to influence the situation. Whenever you get herbs from me, they are mixed, so I'm going to add in some of my mixed herbs in here. And of course, I will use one whole bottle of influence oil as well. And for your oil lamps, you're going to work it a bit different. You're going to actually work this oil lamp with the seal on top of it. You won't put the floating wicks or the floating candles on the inside. And what I would tell you to do is to use yellow candles to start. Whenever I'm working an influence jar, I work it heavy and hard. Like for many of you, you may need to do 30 to 45 days working on that particular situation, working on that particular person. It is very important that you place a petition in here. And if you can gather personal concerns, even better. If you don't have none, don't worry about anything. I want you to focus mainly on what you have now, and that is going to be the ingredients into the influence jar as well as that petition. Don't worry about anything that has happened in the past. Don't mention anything in any quarrels you've had with this person and their families. I want you to focus mainly on what you want to influence them for. If you need to influence them to help them to co-sign on something for you, focus on that and work with skulls. If it is to influence them to pertaining and gaining more money, then you will add pay me oil inside of here as well as the influence and money drawing. You want your money back. You want this person to give it to you. If it is a situation where you need them to be more favorable, if it's a situation for court case, then you would add in the court case herbs will go in here with the influence herbs, as well as working with favors oil, influence oil, and court case oil with brown, blue, and yellow candles. You can incorporate mini skulls around it. Remember, I mentioned mini skulls are great for one particular situation. So if you want to enforce that influence, something that you have written onto the petition, you can take one sentence out of there and make that a main focus. You can work numerous skulls on the person along with working the influence, but you don't want to go in too heavy and too controlling. If it is a situation that desires control, then you would bypass using influence overall. And whenever you want to influence someone, you want them to make it feel as if it's their idea. You want to allow them time and space to adjust to that comfort level. So nothing heavy. Don't use any calamus. Don't use any controlling powder. And use things that are going to be beneficial on your behalf. So something that you want back in return. And work them nicely and favorably so that you can get the things that you want. If you're aggressive while you're working this, if you're angry and things aren't going the best way for you, then you're not going to get the best results. An influence is a lighter, sweeter version of control. You don't want to influence someone and then you're talking to them nasty. So be nice. Talk to them nice. Just a little bit of magic added in there. On top of working influence, I want you to keep away anything negative, because if you build up negativity and you're working on an influence, it will easily fall into this person. This is why I tell many of you to be considerate when it comes to your cleansings and your protections. Many of you don't have that type of control in your life to where you're really good at protecting yourself. but then you want to jump into trying to influence and control somebody else's life. You can't do that. Make sure you have enough power to keep your energy cleansed up and to keep it protected. Now, you can do a few things. This candle, you can work for influence. And you can go at this candle. I would tell you normally to do about 9 days to start with your influence. And then I would tell you to also combine lights. So I would tell you to work at least 7 to 9 lights. Yes, that is a lot of energy. That is a lot of power. That is a lot of strength. So the more that you have incorporated, the better it will be for you, depending on how you work, because I don't know how many of you are working. If you don't have a lot of power overall and it's a first time that you're working a spell like this, then I would tell you not to do it. I would tell you don't switch over too quickly into trying to influence the situation and influence a person to gain the things that you want. I would tell you probably start off with working with favors to see if you can get this person to be attached to you, to like you, to want to do the things for you, and to grant them. You can easily work with someone to be generous and favorable to your needs. So be careful jumping into certain things, because I know you're watching hundreds of videos a day and you're trying to connect with the video that works for you. But if you're going to do a spell to influence to get someone to give you back something, or even to like you and to be sweetened to you, you can do an influence on a boss. And then you can do a boss fix to fix them up and to create that steady work that's needed to make sure that you're going to get that raise and all of that. But if you've read these people and they don't like you, and you know you don't like them, a favors is not going to work. That generosity they need is not going to work. And influence is not going to work. And definitely not a control and anything to manipulate them. They don't like you as is. That energy is not going to sync well and connect to you. And if you're working a boss fix or you're working an influence on bosses that you generally hate, you are going to fail. This is why I tell y'all, get a reading. What is so hard about getting a reading so you can be directed in the right place? Then you want to ask me questions that refer back to a reading, and when I tell you, you need a reading for that. No, I'm not sitting around all day thinking about your boss. I don't even know who your boss is. Some of you come to me, Magic, what you think I should do with my boss? Because I don't know. What? You gotta come in direct and correctly. So ask a real question and get a reading done for that question, so you can know directly how to work. An influence is going to create the energy within that person or situation as if this is something they've agreed upon. They want to do it. They want to help you. They want to help you get that apartment. They want to lend you some money to help you get started. They want to offer you that job. You kind of place a bit of pity on them when you're influencing them to do certain things. So do that to make you seem a bit pitiful, as if you really need it and they're the only person that can give you this. But you place that within them. Pitiful or not, it is a spell, and it's going to help you to work things in the way to get the things granted. So if you need help with certain things in your life, and you know there's a friend that you can influence to do it, but you haven't seen him for a while, get a reading to see if it's possible, if they can give you this stuff. You wanna make sure before you influence, control, manipulate, and do all these things to people, that they're able to give you the things you are petitioning. Because if it is not available, it is not there, they can't build it up for you, then what exactly are you working on? For those of you that don't know how to make stuff and you're unfamiliar with it, you can always purchase the items from my shop. I'll leave the links. And I hope this video has been very understandable for many of you that have been working on different situations and you haven't fully known how to tackle it, how to make certain things, and just how to go about it and to get the desired results that you want. Like if you like it, subscribe, and stay blessed.